As a broke kid growing up in Compton, going out for a steak dinner was a big deal. Huge. And if it was a really special occasion, we'd celebrate at the beef plantation. I love the beef plantation. Smell that? That is my childhood.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
Sorry about what, son? I love this place. You pay what you weigh. Come on, Jack, step on the scale.
It's okay, sweetheart.
Take your shoes off. Save me some money.
Zoe, stop it.
60 cents for a steak. A steak!
Oh.
Junior, your turn.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
Man,
Go ahead.
why are you wearing those thick jeans? Get on here. Next time, wear shorts. Gotta pay $1.15 for your steak. Ugh. Guys, this is great. What do you think, huh?
I think this cow died of natural causes.
Babe, I don't think the kids are loving this.
Hey, stop. Come on, this is all you can eat surf and turf.
Oh, I get it. They charge you for all you can eat, but put out food no one will eat. Maniacal.
Boy, you wear your heavy pants and you won't even eat your pay what you weigh steak? If you guys can't appreciate affordable meat, why don't you go up there and get a salad? Huh? And while you're up there, visit the pasta trough. That ziti looks right.
Why is there a plastic roof all over the food?
No, maybe that's a sneeze guard. It's to protect the food.
From getting into our mouths?
What?
Mommy, this food makes me sad.
But,
I am so hungry.
boy, there's food on your fork. You know what? If everybody is so unhappy, why don't we all just go home without eating?
Yay!
Really?
I'm sorry.
Baby, this is the beef plantation.
So you have roots on laser disc, but eating at a place called Beef Plantation doesn't bump you?
Well, it didn't. Till now.
Okay, let's go after the kids. Coming.
So this turned out to be a special occasion, too. The day I realized my family kinda sucks. So the beef plantation experience showed me that my kids were spoiled, and I had to teach them a lesson.
Why is the fridge empty? Is it broken?
Nope, not broken. What other reason could it be empty?
We're moving? Finally, a bigger pool. It has to be salt water. I can't do any more chlorine.
I'm gonna get my own room. See you, sucker. No.
Hey, we are not moving, all right? We are making some adjustments. This is what my refrigerator looked like when I was growing up. It's not empty. There are 5 meals in here. There's a ketchup baking soda sandwich, baking soda bologna sandwich, and if you're really feeling fancy, you got your ketchup bologna baking soda sandwich.
None of that sounds like food to me.
That's because you're spoiled, and I'm giving you the gift of hunger.
Does it come with a receipt? Because I'd like to return it.
No! You kids need to learn to live with less. And if I hear any complaints, I'm going to take away more stuff, like your cable, like your Wi-Fi, like that really soft 4-ply toilet paper.
No. Feels like fresh baked bread on my butt.
Why can't we turn on the air conditioning?
Because I'm teaching the kids a lesson? A lesson I should have taught them years ago? Baby, they're spoiled.
We did not spoil our kids. So
What?
we're parents who made enough to give our kids lots of toys and clothes and video games. I mean, isn't that part of Dr. King's dream? I think so.
I'm just now starting to see why the kids are so ungrateful. You know, I'm not going to point any fingers as to how they got that way, but I will use my thumbs. It's you. Yes, you've set a tone.
Me? So I'm the one who got all their baby Jordans bronzed?
Bronzed? That was 7-karat gold.
Still very tacky. But okay, because there is nothing wrong with giving our kids more than we had.
It's up to us to give them more by giving them less.
Dre, I did not grow up eating baking soda, and I turned out fine.
That's because you had a white daddy.
What?
We can't all hit the lotto. You're all getting jobs.
What?
Yes, I've seen what bad parenting can do, and I'm not going to let that happen. And besides, I can't afford rehab.
But robotics club.
Bye-bye, robotics club.
Well, please tell me I was called to this meeting accidentally.
No, Paris, this isn't an accident. You're going to get a job, too.
That's right. You get a job, you get a job, you get a job. Everybody gets a job!
Why is this happening? Are the Greensteins right? Is this too much house for us?
Now, it's too much house for you, but not too much house for us, because we have jobs. You know what? You kids don't appreciate anything because everything has been handed to you. Now, you're going to learn what it feels like to earn.
Welcome to the rat race.
Ha! Chomp, chomp!
Boom!
Suck on that cheese!
Put it on a cracker.
Alright, some buddies, I'm going to start from the beginning. Yes, I'm also a poor kid, okay? And I appreciated going to a restaurant because growing up with my mom, if she had a decent paycheck when she started working, a good time would be going to the corner AM PM and getting a hot dog. Now, if she had a really good paycheck, maybe got a little bit of a bonus, we would go to Denny's. That was everything to me because I knew we were poor and I knew that my mom worked hard and she just wanted to give me a treat every now and again and make a memory there. So I understand growing up poor and appreciating things. And with the all-you-can-eat buffets, at one point in my 20s, I always felt that the buffets, to me, was kind of a reward, for continually making good money and whatnot, because you had all this food accessible to you. To me, I saw this as the grand prize of things, and I would take advantage. Although, granted, I offset it with exercise, so I didn't balloon up. But nonetheless, that's how I saw it. It was a reward. And when I kind of understand what Dre's talking about, because I see my kids now, more so my oldest, he does have the gaming console. He does have the TV. He has his own room, all this stuff. Every now and again, he doesn't eat the food that we always cook if he doesn't like it. I know, okay? I feel the looks, all right? He doesn't know that he's talking to his dad, who grew up on rice and beans. Yes, it's gonna be racial here. I grew up with rice and beans and tortilla optional if it was available. I still do that now. I can live off rice and beans and a tortilla optional. But he doesn't know that. So if us as parents, because Dre's wife said, hey, we have a little bit of money and we given them what we probably would have wanted as kids. I don't think there's nothing necessarily wrong with doing that, but maybe somehow trying to figure out, letting them know that they are lucky to have these things, because us as parents, if we didn't have a good upbringing or a rich upbringing or blue collar, then yeah, we appreciate things more, and now we work towards our kids so they can have what we didn't have, but they need to understand why they have it, okay? And not take it for granted. I wouldn't be happy if I took my family to a buffet, and it has happened once or twice, that they weren't feeling it, but I'm always feeling that. So I get it. And the whole job situation, I wish, okay? I know there's certain ways at an age you can get your kid a job, but it's just the appreciation. And that's what us as parents, we have to do. We have to really instill that in them. You have these things because I wish I would have had them. You have them now. But understand that. And if we ever have to tone it back because of financial hardship, I know I can do it. I want to prepare them as well to know that they can do it. And I'll just quickly bring up a thing that we've spoken about in the channel, which is birthdays. That one of my my son's friends' birthdays, when he was like 5 or 6, that they live in a cul-de-sac, and they ended up having animals there, like I forget what it's, a petting zoo. They had a petting zoo at 6. And I told my wife and my son right away, hey, that's not how we're gonna roll, okay? Number one, that's unnecessary to have all that at 6. You want to create a memory, fine, but you're just gonna have to keep topping it. We're not doing that. In fact, we don't really throw my son any parties, because at the end of it all, he just wants his cake and maybe a present, and that's it. He can hang out with his friends any other day. But spoiled somewhat, it's in the eyes of the beholder. I understand it. I'm with Dre.
I understand where Dre is coming from. That's just more of a generational thing. And just today, my youngest son, right, he asked, what's for dinner? And I told him, 90% of things I cook, you don't eat. You know what the nerve he had to say to me? That's cap. I'm like, really? 90% of stuff I cook, he does not eat because he's such a picky eater. So, and looking at the clip where they went to the buffet, it reminded me of the hometown buffet. And I know when I was my youngest son's age, I was a very picky eater too. So I don't get mad at him for that. But eventually you gotta grow because your body's gonna want certain things, and if you're denying it, your body's gonna react in kind. So try to let him know, and then he'll get in his little phase of, okay, I'll eat healthy, I'll eat more. That probably lasts about 2 weeks. But yeah, I try not to overstate how I grew up and stuff like that compared to what you guys had. I try not to shove that down their throat. I will give them examples of certain things when, like, we had our power going out maybe a week or so ago because, like, something happened on the street where it took out some power lines, and we had no power for like 12 hours. And I just picked my daughter up from some practice, and I was like, where we have no Wi-Fi, the refrigerator's power is gone, you won't be able to take a hot shower. It's like, she's like, oh my God. Like, she was like, the world has ended, right? Me, I'm like, okay, eventually this will pass. I told her to look at it like this way. At least you have a roof over your head. I'd rather have a roof over my head and then no power, or than have power. So it's like, this is a temporary thing. Eventually it's gonna get fixed, and it got fixed like around 9 o'clock the next day. So it's not a big deal. But as far as like going out to restaurants and stuff like that, I know we went out to a restaurant. We went to Red Lobster one day, and my kids, they pretty much like burgers, fries, and pizza when we go to a restaurant. My daughter, she can eat pretty much whatever else, right? But they had no fries at that particular time. My kids didn't like anything that was on the menu that they thought they could eat. So they're like, oh my God, we're never coming back here. This, that, the other, right? So it was like torture for them. Cause so me and my wife, we ate, and then we got them some fast food afterwards. So we know now we can't take them to Red Lobster because it's just not for them. Wherever else we go, we make sure everyone can eat something. But yeah, it's I won't say difficult to try to show kids how the parents grew up and relating to, because they had so much easy access to everything right now, and that's what they're used to, and that's how they grew up. We grew up with no internet for the most part. There wasn't devices, easy access to everything. There wasn't the cell phones that they got now. They had like brick phones and not smartphones. So it's a lot of change. So I do understand how people older generation than I am, how they don't adapt as well to what our generation is adapting to now. And then things will change as our kids' generation adapts to stuff that goes on later on in the future. But I don't try to bombard them down with saying that, oh, in my day, this is how we grew up, we didn't have this, we didn't have that type of thing. If it comes up in conversation or something should happen, like the power situation, we will give examples. Their mouth will drop to the floor. Like, how can you live like that? People got worse than what we did. So I always say, at least look at the bright side as far as like, you're blessed to have a roof over your head. Some people don't have that. There's kids who are not eating. You know, there's kids who don't have a bed. They don't have their own room. So I understand how Andre was coming from with his kids, where it's like, you guys are spoiled. And I grew up spoiled, so I'm definitely not doing that to my kids. So, and since there's 3 of them, so they had no time to be spoiled, so they have to share everything. So it's just that lesson in itself.